The St. Louis franchise is probably the ABA's second most cursed, only behind the perennial ninth seed Pittsburgh Condors. Today we're going to take a look at this infamous early ABA curse. So far, the St. Louis franchise has had three major name changes, originating as the St. Louis Bombers. Their OG GM, if you can call him that, was Skip. Made, I believe, one or two moves during his time there. What people don't remember is the OG Bombers weren't a bad squad. I believe they finished 11th in their first season of the ABA's history and had future All-Star Razid Zazik and Ed Thompson, along with key role players on a later great Cleveland team, Eric Strickler, and future starter on a playoff championship caliber Anaheim, at the time Chicago team, Trevor Austin. In addition, future superstar in the making, Terrence Foster was actually part of this team's bench. This was an underrated squad that had a lot of potential, but unfortunately most of it would get squandered, as you'll soon see. They experienced their darkest year in the following season, 2021, in which they would win just 7 games. It was absolute craziness. They would go through 3 GMs, especially after losing Zadris and Foster. GM Skip would get fired due to missing roll call. He'd be replaced by actually Jamie Boy, who would then quit just a few days later. After him, Marcus would take over before quickly changing his name to Everyone and leaving the server in an attempted raid. This would lead the team to desperately reach out to Logical Gamer, who took over as GM. Cortland Davis would have a breakout season, and the team showed promise. In addition, Jerry Trecker also looked fairly solid, and with Little Rye joining the roster, this team looked like it could be a potential playoff team soon. They would win 38 games before dipping down to 33 during the Logical Gamer era. Unfortunately, Logical Gamer had to leave, and his departure changed the team back from the Reapers into the Spirits of St. Louis, led by classic Ramzali. Ramzali was a good GM who was just time-strapped. He would draft Tyrone Petrie and make several solid moves. Unfortunately, he had to deal largely with cleaning up of bad contracts left over from the Logical Gamer era. In addition, Little Rye was immediately abandoned by his owner, and this would cause the former 5th overall pick to absolutely stagnate for years. And ultimately, back at the time, Creative Palair was overpowered, and they thought they were getting a real steal. Ultimately, though, caps aren't broken in ABA, and Little Rye would turn into nothing more than a defensive backup big man. Fortunately, Emperor Zeke, or at the time Papa Zeke, would take over and create the Big Four. Cortland Davis, a former lottery pick, Big Rye, the former 5th overall pick from their horrible season. Oh, did I mention they missed out on the lottery and got 5 despite being a 7-win team? Cortland Davis, John Cameron, a free agent to acquisition, Marcus Johnson, and Jerry Checker would all be 60 pluses. However, the team would only win 38 games in a deep Western Conference and be 4 games out of a playoff spot. This would be St. Louis's current peak with all-time great GM Papa Zeke. They would experience the chaos that was 2025 season with just 22 wins. Papa Zeke would quit twice after getting into arguments with various other players, and ultimately, with him returning and then quitting and then resigning as GM, he'd be replaced by Fago, who would go AFK and would be replaced by DMart. And then Fago came back, and then Fago went away again. And that would result in DMart missing the draft. But he landed a 30-year-old 60 overall in the lottery. Not the world's best resolution. In summary, this team has experienced 3 name changes, 7 GMs, I believe. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's 8 GMs. And they still have yet to make the playoffs with 8 GMs. And this looks like this could be their best year. They have breakout superstar Tyrone Petrie, Jeremy Cagle, who was a massive free agent addition and the last great move DMart made, and he had a bright future. This team probably is a lock for the playoffs. It'll be interesting to see how a Suns fan does. Are we going to be making another St. Louis's cursed video in 4 seasons, or will Dante Cook and co make the playoffs?